visionaries, a place for dreamers. Where you wanna be? Join in, connect with us. Join in, and you can see what's up. Join in, so connect with us. Join in. It goes A-Spire, EM-Spire, DreamSpire, books for authors is on fire. A-Spire, the magazine for you. We got art and entertainment, celebrity news. M-Spire for entrepreneurs and motivators. It's demonstrated, see how they made it. DreamSpire TV, it's where you wanna be. Extraordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Mays, and I'm your host of the Author's Lounge. Don't you go anywhere because we will be right back after this advertisement. Hi, I am Cheryl Mays, and I am your host for the Author's Lounge. I am so excited today because we are going to hear from author Caleb Harris, the author of Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Hi, Caleb. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Author's Lounge. I am so excited that you are here. And I am excited because we're going to talk about your new book, Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003. So, Caleb, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Caleb Harris. I live in Enfield, Connecticut. I'm 26 years old. I graduated college a couple of years ago in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in communications.
Okay. And you're an author.
Yep, I'm an author as well. Yep.
Now, this is not the first book. This is book number 3.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so now tell us the names of the other books.
Well, the other books are Better Luck Next Time, Daryl, which is a story about two people. Daryl actually has a complicated story with his ex-girlfriend, Anastasia. The next book is No Meat, No Problem, and it's a vegan cookbook. And the third one will be Suffering in Silence, August 15, 2003.
Okay. Now, this book, Suffering in Silence, this book is complicated in relationships. And so when you talk about where the book came from, was this a personal experience? Was this something that you witnessed? How did this guy appear?
Yeah, it was slightly similar. I know my father had like serious anger issues when he was a kid, and that somewhat affected me. So when I was in high school, I did seek some counseling, and also in college as well to handle my issues better. But my father and I just had one of those kind of relationships where we didn't get along, and it's very similar to Ricky Johnson's story.
Okay. And so your life and Ricky Johnson's life kind of run parallel.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about the story. We're not going to give the story away because I want
Right.
people to go to Amazon and we'll talk about that to get the book. So just give us some insights on the characters and what the book is about.
So the book follows Ricky Johnson, and the title itself tells a lot because it's August 15th, 2003. And that was the summer where I would say that Ricky Johnson lost himself. And it definitely is a very life changing experience for him. He goes through a lot of trials and tribulations in his life, but eventually he learns not to blame himself so much and holds himself more accountable for his own actions instead of just trying to run away from all of his problems.
And I think the other piece that's so interesting to this is that you talk about men showing their emotions and
Right.
it being okay for men to actually show their emotions because generally what happens is, I think about what we teach our young boys, and that's to man up, men don't cry. And so you're supposed to be strong. And so this book is literally like therapeutic because it releases you.
Yep, I would definitely say that because there's a lot of young men who basically just don't talk about their issues. They basically just bottle it up all inside. And it's really because they feel as if no one can understand what they're actually going through. So it's books like mine, Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003, which depicts those issues and handles them one by one.
And Caleb, so guys, listen, this book is as complicated in relationships, but very, very interesting because you can see how your life could flesh into one of these characters at any
Right.
moment.
Hmm.
And especially now, I think in the times that we're in, where we are being taxed with emotional strain, financial strain, all of these things, and just literally trying to hold it together and continue to move forward.
Right.
And so, is there anything that you want the readers? What do you want them to know, Caleb, about the book when they get it? What's the message?
Oh, the message is to understand men and most importantly, just people in general. Don't hold on to this thing that people just do things for no reason. Everybody has their own reason, no matter how complicated it is, and no matter how complicated the story may be. Everybody just needs someone to listen to and talk to.
I, amen to that because
Yep.
that is so true. So, and I think the other thing is you want to know that you're not the only one.
Right.
That there are other people out there. So get the book. The book is available on Amazon, Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and finish talking with Caleb right after this commercial. We're back with Caleb Harris, the author of Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003. Caleb, so this book, as we were talking about, is about a gentleman named Ricky Johnson
Yep.
that's having a relationship awareness with his mother and his father and his birth father. And so this book is literally about how to actually come across your emotions and experience them. So you want to get the book because it's available on Amazon. And this is not the first book, but this is the first of a series.
Yep. That's correct. The series is Suffering in
This
Silence.
is
That'll be
a series, Caleb.
Yep. That'll be the whole series, Suffering in Silence, and each
For
character.
some reason, okay,
Yeah, each character will be completely different.
okay. So we have something to look forward to.
Right, that's correct.
So stay tuned for Caleb Harris and his series, Suffering in Silence. So, Caleb, I want to talk to you now about some questions that you had answered for me.
Right.
And you talked about if we were to look you up in the dictionary, it would. Can you hear me?
You're kind of lagging a little bit on my end. I'm
Can
not too
you talk
sure.
to us a little bit about being misunderstood?
Oh yeah, misunderstood. That's definitely something that
Mm-hmm.
I grew up
Can you
around
hear
when
me?
I was. Yeah, I can hear you now. I was misunderstood as a kid. Definitely growing up in the suburbs. I was definitely one of those kids where I didn't know where I actually belonged. And as I got older, I became more understood as I grew into college because in college everyone is a little bit more understanding. But growing up as a child, you just realize us as younger people, like around 13 to 18 or so, we're not really fully developed, and our brains really don't develop until
Mm.
we're 25 or so. So around 18 to 26 is around where people start to mature a lot more and understand others.
That's so important because I think, to your point, there's a process.
Right.
There's a process that you have to take before you come to that piece of awareness. One of the other questions that you answered was, what was the greatest piece of advice that you received as an author? And you
Oh,
said, just write and worry late.
yep, that is definitely correct. Because I think with a lot of writers, we just don't. We're always trying to perfect everything on the first draft, and that's just impossible. And I remember I was watching a film called Finding Forrester, and the teacher was telling this young black kid to just keep on writing. Just don't think about it. Just keep on writing because we could just edit it later. We could go over everything later. But the more you keep thinking about it, the more you'll actually lose your thoughts, and that's never a good thing.
There you go. Words of advice. Keep writing and worry late. Because I think
Yep.
as individuals that are watching this and they're looking at, I might want to be a author. I have a story inside of me that I want to get out, but I don't know how to get started because you're trying to think of every piece that goes within it instead of just sitting down and getting started.
Yep, that's right.
There you go. Now, the other question that I asked you was, if you had an opportunity to sit with any author in the world to kind of ask them questions and get advice, who would that author be?
Oh, that would be Henry David Thoreau, and I would basically just ask him, like, when you go out into the woods, what is it exactly that you actually think about, or do you just silence all your thoughts together? But I believe if I met up with him, then I basically would just be listening more. But unfortunately, he's dead. But he was one of the greatest philosophers, greatest authors that I followed along with, especially post college.
Okay. And so, for my last question for you, we talked about this book being available on Amazon. How
Right.
else can individuals follow you?
They could follow me on Facebook. All you have to do is just type in Caleb Harris. And also, I'm available on Instagram, which is Caleb Hates Cake. And those are the two sites that you can be able to find me.
So, you have an opportunity to follow Caleb, go to Amazon, get his book, and write a review. How do you feel about reviews?
Basically indifferent, even if it's good, bad, or indifferent, just leave a review because as an author, I definitely want to give all of you people the best work that I can give. And if you don't send me any reviews, then I won't know. So please review the book. Thank you.
There, there you go. You heard it from an author himself. He wants reviews. That's what all authors want. We want to know how
Yep.
you feel about the book. So that would help us to be able to get better, right?
Right. That is correct. Definitely.
Caleb, thank you so much for joining us today on the Author's Lounge. Caleb
Yep. No
Harris, the
problem.
author of, thank you. Caleb Harris, the author of Suffering in Silence, August 15th, 2003, is available on Amazon. So your assignment is to go to Amazon, get the book, and write a review. But also, your assignment is not to go anywhere because we'll be right back after this commercial. Thank you for being with us today on the Author's Lounge. We have been visiting with Caleb Harris, the author of Suffering in Silence. His book is available on Amazon. You can follow Caleb on Facebook as well as Instagram at Caleb Harris on Facebook, Caleb Eats Cake on Instagram. So definitely go out, get the book. It is definitely a page turner. And I also want you to do one more thing. I want you to, at this time, grab your phone, hold it up to the screen here, because what you see is a QR code. You can take your phone, hold it here, take a picture, and it's going to actually take you to our website at DreamSpireBooks.com, where you have an opportunity to visit with all of the authors, to see the books that we have in the bookstore, and to see some of our other interviews. You never know who you're going to meet here on the Author's Lounge. So definitely stay tuned. Continue to follow us, join us. We would love to have you. Thank you so very, very much for being with us today.